Hello, my friend, and welcome to Wisdom Trek. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining us for our 5-day-per-week Wisdom and Legacy Building podcast. This is day 793 of our trek, and time for our Philosophy Friday series. Each Friday, we will ponder some of the basic truths and mysteries of life and how they can impact us in creating our living legacy. As we continue on this trek called life, sometimes we have questions about life. So our Friday trek is a time where we can Ask Gramps. Gramps will answer questions that you would like to ask your dad or granddad, but for whatever reason, this is not possible. No matter how old you are, I know that all of us would like the opportunity to ask Dad or Gramps questions about life in many areas. We will address areas such as finances, relationships, health and fitness, business and work, home repairs and renovations, seasons of life, spiritual and biblical questions, and any other areas that may come our way. As your fellow sojourner and mentor on this trek that we call life, it is my goal to provide you with practical wisdom and advice about any areas of life. It is crucial that I receive a constant flow of questions, so please submit your questions to Guthrie at wisdom-trek.com, and Gramps will answer these questions on our Friday podcast. We are broadcasting from our studios at the Big House in Marietta, Ohio. Our trip to assist Aunt Pauline has been delayed once again since she still remains in rehab and does not have a discharge date yet. On the home front, we do hope to get started on the renovation project of our bedroom this winter, but so far this year, we have either been traveling or have had family in on every weekend. Our bedroom is the last room in the main part of the house, which we have not renovated yet. We do still have the third floor, which is a large, open gathering room, to renovate yet, and also the basement, but those are a little bit further down our list. The interesting thing is, though, we are starting to come to the point where some of the rooms that we had renovated early on now need a little bit of additional TLC, but nothing close to the initial work which we completed. Living in the homestead that my great-grandparents built in 1903 is a blessing, but it also requires a lot of time and resources to maintain. The big house is well constructed and overall it's in good shape. So the question for today is, hey Gramps, what is the best approach to renovating or remodeling our house, considering that we are on a limited budget? So today let's focus on renovation and remodeling on a limited budget. When considering major renovation or remodeling of your home, the first thing you need is a lot of patience, especially if you are on a limited budget. And here are some tangible suggestions that may make the process a bit more enjoyable. First, if you can do your renovations and remodeling without borrowing any funds, that is always the first thing to consider. You may have to delay some of the work so that you can save and sacrifice, but in the long term, this is a much better approach. If the scope of the project is large and it would be nearly impossible to save that much money before beginning, then a general rule of thumb is, will the value of the home be increased by more than the cost of the renovation and remodeling? If so, or if the repairs are needed to keep the home safe, then you may consider using an equity line of credit based on the current value of your home. The next step is to determine both the long-term and then the short-term plans for your renovation or remodeling. What is the scope of the overall project and how can it be broken down into segments that you can complete on a timely basis and that will fit within your current short-term budget? Make sure that you are able to complete the entire segment so that you don't have multiple unfinished project segments left partially completed. Although most of us would like to work on large parts of an overall project, be willing to delay gratification by completing smaller segments and then pay for them as you go. Learn to be frugal and patient. After you have determined the overall scope of the project and the individual phases, then determine what parts of the project that you'll be able to complete yourself. For instance, if you are not trained or capable of framing or drywalling, but feel confident that you can handle the painting of the walls and ceilings, plot out the various duties, and then determine where you may need to hire a contractor. A contractor should be able to complete tasks much quicker than you'll be able to, but it will also cost you more to hire one. Finding a reputable contractor that will also complete the work on a timely basis is not always that easy. In our experiences with contractors, they do a good job for about 90% of the project, but trying to get them to finish that last 10% sometimes can be really challenging. There is always a trade-off between your time invested into the project and determining how much your time is worth and what it will cost to hire a licensed and reliable contractor. Another factor that needs to be considered is whether you enjoy the work of renovation and remodeling. If you do not enjoy that type of work or don't feel that you're qualified to complete the work, then you will have to save and sacrifice so that you can earn the extra necessary monies to hire someone. I think that the only thing that may be worse than a contractor not finishing a project on a timely basis is the tension it may cause between you and your spouse and your children if you attempt to complete a project and never quite complete it. So my encouragement to you when contemplating a renovation or remodeling project is threefold. The first one is plan. Understand the entire scope of the project before moving forward. Next is to prepare. Save until you have enough money to complete the project, or at least definable stages of the project. Make sure that you understand all the costs associated with time and materials to complete the project. If you're not doing the work yourself, make sure that you agree in writing with your contractor of what the project will cost and what will be the timeline for completion. And third and finally, proceed. Once you're committed to the project and have the funding available either through savings or a line of credit, then move forward and complete the project on a timely basis. Don't fall victim to the parable as we read in Luke chapter 14, verses 28 through 30. But don't begin until you count the cost, for who would begin a construction project of a building without first calculating the cost to see if there was enough money to finish it? Otherwise, you might only complete the foundation before running out of money, and then everyone would laugh at you. They would say, "There is a person who started that building but could not afford to finish it." I trust that I have provided you with some tangible insights for the next renovation or remodeling project that you undertake. But these concepts can really be applied to any type of project that you're participating in. Next week, we will have a different question to Ask Gramps. Gramps will answer any questions that you may have about life and will provide you with practical wisdom about any area of life. So please submit your questions to Guthrie@wisdom-trek.com, and Gramps will answer them on our Friday podcast with wisdom and philosophy that Gramps has gained over the years of experience and study. I know that you'll find these insights interesting, practical, and profitable in living a rich and satisfying life. Our next trek will be Meditation Monday, where we will help you to reflect on the most important things of life. So encourage your friends and family to join us and to come along with us on Monday for another day of Wisdom Trek, creating a legacy. If you'd like to listen to any of the past 792 daily treks or read the associated journals, they are all available at wisdom-trek.com. You can also subscribe to iTunes or Google Play so that each day's trek will be downloaded to you automatically. And thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, I am your friend as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal. And as we take this trek of life together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and then leave a living legacy each day. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. See you on Monday.